divinely guided messages for healing of the mind, the body, and the soul. Welcome. So today's message about letting go. Letting go of what no longer serves you, like letting go of what no longer is enhancing your life or making it better or helping you in any way, and letting go of that stuff so that you can make room for new things in your life. If you are walking with a whole carriage of stuff in back there and you're hauling all that with you, and then you're like wondering why everything is so sad and heavy and daunting and all that stuff, and then you keep hanging on to it, just sometimes just because nobody told you that you could just let it go, and nobody told you that hey, it looks like you're carrying like a whole life of baggage back there. Are you sure you want to take it with you to the future? Or did you want to do something different than recycling all those things that is in your carriage back there? Did you want to do something different with your life? Then maybe you have to learn how to let it go. And so we all have baggage because we all have been here on planet Earth, which planet Earth is a very interesting place to be. And it holds a lot of damage sometimes for some of us. And for others, it holds a lot of challenges and it holds a lot of things. Planet Earth is a very challenging journey to go through for any human being, I'm pretty sure. So how can we learn to let go of things? Like how can we, if you want a good future, you want to be happy and you want to do all these things, then, and every time you think about like doing something different, and then this old narrative comes back up into your mind, oh yeah, but then they hurt me, or they did this, or they did that, and stuff like that, then that's your task on your spiritual to-do list. Like spiritual, how can you work on your spirit? Like working on these things, these triggers, they come back all the time, like recycling old situations, like new body. There's a new body, same situation. There's a new mask on it, same situation. So how can you figure out how you can let those burdens go and set them down so that you don't have to recycle it anymore? And I find that the most important thing is to acknowledge it. First, you have to be aware of it. So maybe this video, if all it does is to make you become aware of some burden that you are still carrying with you that you wish that you hadn't carried for so long, then this is your message, that it's possible to just set it down. And when you set it down, you have to first acknowledge that it's there. Because once you know that it's there, and this is like a burden, like I'm carrying this burden of my past all the time, and I keep talking about it, I keep getting back into it, and my emotions, my mind, everything is attached to the stuff that happened in the past. And so letting it go, you don't need it anymore. It's not serving you any good, and it's not serving you in any ways. And so how can you learn and find the courage and the strength within to let it go? Is to first you just acknowledge it. You just have to be okay. It is there. Like this is it. This is what it is. This is what it feels like. This is what it is. And then you have to practice. Once this one thought comes up in your brain, like it pops up in your head, this one thought, and now you can choose to hang other thoughts onto that one thought. So maybe the past came up there, and then if you look at the past, and then you'll be like, okay, and now all these other things are going to attach to it if you let it. But if you can notice, so you have to be still a little bit, you have to be aware enough to notice these things. And so when it comes up, and if you don't notice it in your thinking, you can notice it about how you feel, because usually it's going to make you feel sad or worried or angry or fearful or some of these things, not comfortable. The feelings, the reasons why we want to let it stay in the past. And so letting go of things, just acknowledge it and be with it, and then practice every time the thought comes up. Like you can take the whole situation and you can just change the colors of it, or change the sound of how the memory, you can push it back further and further back in your memory, back in your mind, so that it's a practice. Every time it comes up, you just dim the lights, or you do however you need to do it in order for it to not be so fresh and alive and stirring up all these emotions and all that stuff. So you want it to push it back into your memory box and place it there in some boxes back there, or however. And every time it comes up, you just send it back there. And you don't allow yourself to go on tantrums where you attach all these thoughts. And it takes practice, and probably you will do it still for a little while, and that's okay too. Because this is like a skill. You're developing a skill, like you're getting better skilled at leaving behind those things that don't serve you. You are getting better skilled. You're being clever with it too. Like you're smart. When you don't hang on to these things, it's a smart thing to do. because now you can free yourself. And once you don't have the carriage with all that stuff in it, you're going to be moving much easier. You can maybe take a different turn because the carriage couldn't go around all those corners. So now you're on your own, and now you can make those little turns, or you can make those little adjustments and do the little things, the tweaks that you wanted to do. And be clever about it. Like, working smart is to look at these things when you're working with yourself and you're working on your spirit. If you want to be happy here on planet Earth, you have to go within, and you have to work on your spirit, because everything is teaching you to be outside of yourself. Oh, out there it's going to make me happy, out there, over there. No, it's inside, and then you can go out there and have even more fun with it. But you have to find it within yourself first. And so otherwise it's just like a band-aid, and band-aids are great for what band-aids are for. But if you are looking for true happiness, then you have to go within, and you have to unload the carriage. You got to get rid of the carriage, because the carriage is all of our past, all of the memories, all of the stuff that happened to us in one way or the other. And so to have what you really deserve and what you really wish for in your life, and the dreams, to if you want them to become real, then you have to let go of the carriage. So acknowledging it first and foremost is the smartest thing that you can do. And we all have some kind of baggage that we can leave behind on the sidelines. Progress, it's going to be over time. So like this stuff, the spiritual stuff, is like, yeah, for me, like, I wanted to have a happy life. So now so I wanted to have a happy life, and my prayer was, I pray, like, what do I need to do? I want to be happy, I want to live a good life, I want to just be happy. And so I pray about that, and then I was shown all the things that I had to do in order for me to find my inner happiness. So this was my spiritual walk with the divine, allowing the divine to show and put on my heart, put in my mind the things that I needed to work on in order to liberate and to free myself from it. And if I had known like 25 years ago that I would be still doing that today, I probably never would have started. But I'm so glad that I started, and I didn't know it, because I wouldn't have been where I am today if I didn't. So my encouragement to you is like, yeah, it's going to take time. It's not going to be done just like one time. Oh, I thought about it. I thought about my luggage here. I thought about the carriage, and I was thinking about it. So now it should be over, because I thought about it and I decided that I don't want that carriage. So now it's going to be gone. And then you keep walking and the carriage is still there. And so then you can be disappointed on this stuff. It doesn't work, or like it didn't work because it's still there. And it's like, no, it's a process. Now you're aware that the carriage is there. That's a good thing. That's a great, like, wow, congratulations. Hop up and down a few times and celebrate. Woohoo. And do whatever weird sounds that you do when you celebrate, and be happy for it, because now you know about the carriage. And that's the first thing. That's the very biggest thing, like, to know about it. Now you're aware of it, and now you can start working on it. And this process is not going to be just done in one time or two times. It takes practice, and it's like learning any kind of new skill. You have to do it over and over again, and so that you get used to it. So every time these thoughts come up, now you're practicing your skills of rearranging them in your mind. You're taking ownership of your own mind, and you place them where you want them to be in your life, so that you can build the life that you want to build. And walking in faith, like asking about it, praying about it. I have prayed about everything, and all the answers that came to me, they were usually was more about like me being kind, me being loving, unconditional love, like me being, now I'm judgmental because I think this and that with them. Or then I had to go in and work on that, like, why am I being judgmental? Well, like, what is this going on inside of me that is making that a problem for me? It shouldn't be a problem for me. And so then you go inside of yourself, and you start to untangle all these things. And what you're going to find is this beautiful, beautiful inner journey, this beautiful, beautiful releasing of all unnecessary stuff. And you find that the core of yourself is really beautiful, and the core of yourself is really easy, and life is really simple, which is not what you would expect, because it seems so complicated, and it seems like there's so many things, and it's so complicated and difficult. But it really is not. It's really simple when you find the core of who you are and in the moment. And then maybe the biggest challenge will be, how are you going to put your life together? What is the kind of progress that you want to see in your life? How can you keep walking? Like, I have faith. Like, I know that for me, my faith is very important. I think that the universe, God, is always working in my favor, and I love that. And I all know that it always is like that. As long as I have faith and I believe in it, it always works out like that. And I can probably, if I had a camera on my life, all the times that I've probably been almost hit by a car, or almost it happened, or almost accident, like I just kept walking in faith. And it's almost like universe is like wiping out all left and north and south stuff around me. I don't even see it. I don't even see half of the challenges that I overcame or that I just walked through it, because that's how faith works. Like once you find that true inner sense of trust in something greater than yourself on your side, something great, something good on your side, and you do the inner work, you do these spiritual tasks, like you become less judgmental, or you become uh, more celebrative. Instead of being jealous, you can celebrate other people's victories, because all of a sudden you start to think about it and you're like, wow, it really takes a lot of work to do what they are doing. And then you can appreciate more things. So that's how you learn to kind of work with the emotions that pop up, like why you always be angry with that person, or the like bitter when you see them bitter. Like maybe bitterness it comes up because they represent something that you wish that you had done with your life. Well, it's never too late. You're breathing, then go do it now. Like being bitter at someone else because they did something that you wanted to do, that's your spiritual task. It has nothing to do with them, because they have their own spiritual tasks. You bring it back to yourself, and then you can put that on your spiritual to-do list, like how to not be bitter at the neighbor, but rather start doing the work myself. And that's how you walk in line with who you are meant to be, who you are on the deep core. This is how you're going to find your deep core. This is how you're going to allow everything else to let it go. Like, but you have to acknowledge the emotions that pop up. And usually these are like the triggers, something trigger you or make you feel like any kind of these lower vibrational feelings, then that's a task on your spiritual to-do list. This is something that you can work on. And if you do that work and you have faith, then you are going to be walking, just like you can just keep walking in whatever direction you want to build your life in, and you can just keep walking, and all these things, it's almost like all these arrows and all these things are going to just fly around your head, because you are doing the right thing and you're walking in faith. And once you do that, the universe, God, will conspire in your favor all the time. And it's the best support system that you can have out there. It's the best support system, but it does take some practice to be okay with trusting it fully. That's the challenge, to really trust it and really know, like, I have faith, 100% faith. And you can just be like, yeah, I don't trust that. I have 100% faith. And just stand in it and just stand in it. And it will take you through the most awkward places and the most difficult things, if you can find that amount of faith within yourself as you go through this process of letting go of things. It's not easy. And it's like the universe, God loves you anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like we think like, oh my gosh, but the things that I did there and what I was thinking about them, and when they came in, what I was thinking there and what I was saying about them. And then all this stuff, like it's already out there. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like that's not who you are. Those were just like reactions of some kind of feeling that you got. So once you start going within and you start working on these things, now you're going to find the core of who you are. And what you're going to find is that before you start doing this work, you're going to think maybe you're a horrible person or nobody likes you. And if they knew about this, they would definitely not like you or whatever. But once you start doing this work and you start to do the spiritual inner work and you start letting go of these things, you are going to see that you are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. You are loved. You always were worthy of being loved. There never was anything wrong with you that made it so that you were unlovable. You always were loved and you always are loved. And this is why it's like you can, like the universe, God is always there and never judges you for any of that, just hoping that you're going to find your path again, that you're going to find back to the inner path, to do the inner work, to become to untangle and release and let go of these things that are holding you in a lower vibrational thing, and to be okay with the unknowing, like to have faith in the unfolding and the unknowing of things, and trusting that, okay, I might not see the road ahead right now, but I'm going to trust that something greater than myself has my back. And so if I keep taking the next step and I keep moving the next step and I do it the way, in the best way possible, without being spewing around all kinds of negativity, and I walk in faith and I try to bring about compassion, non-judgment, being loving, caring for people, having the essence of gratitude, having that those feelings, carry those, and whatever is not that is going to be on your spiritual to-do list. and putting it in there with patience, you're going to see the rewards in your life. You're going to find what you are looking for. And you're not just going to find it, but you're creating it, because what you are on the inside will also like come on the outside, on the inside, also on the outside. So you're going to attract in the things that you want for your life once you start doing this work. But the inner work is really, really, really important. And it's where you're going to find the answers. And it's where you're going to find it's not easy, and it might be ugly. It might be like difficult and all that stuff. But it's afterwards, it is the most beautiful thing that you can give to yourself. And once you give it to yourself, it's not selfish. It's not neglecting others. It's actually caring more about others too. Once you take charge and take control inside of yourself, and what you bring out to others is going to be 10,000 times better anyway. So it's not even just benefiting yourself. It's actually a great benefit for the universe, for like the world around you. So do it. It's okay. And you'll build the skills. You'll find how clever you are. You'll find how smart you are. You're going to find that you're going to be okay, even if you don't know everything. And once you have faith and you walk and you do the spiritual work, you are so protected. It's not even funny. Well, it is funny, but you might not even see it, but it's funny. And God has a sense of humor. So when you do the right things and you build on your spiritual self and you walk the path, you're going to find everything that you want out there, and you're going to create it with your own self. And the beautiful light in me wishes you all the best on this journey. It's not pretty, but it's very, very beautiful. And so the beautiful light in me, it honors, loves, and respects the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.